All right, thanks, guys. Happy Friday to you. Well, not quite yet. We're covering some games, NBA, college, and NHL for Friday's action, although it is Thursday night. And normally bedtime for the child means I got to get a snack, I got to take a poop, everything but sleep time. But tonight, 9 o'clock, Eastern Standard Time, he's out already. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into some NBA action for Friday night. Happy Friday. The weekend is finally here. Let's begin with Charlotte at the Brooklyn Nets, 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Brooklyn. The Nets opened as the three-point favorite. Total opened 228.5. And in the early going here, we're seeing movement downward on the total and movement upward when it comes to the spread. Brooklyn now 3.5. Total move down to 228. So once again, Brooklyn open 3 up to minus 3.5. Total open 228.5 down to 228 even. At the moment, Charlotte is plus 135 for some money line cash. Now, if you like Charlotte in this spot here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Brooklyn team who's 5-3 against the spread in their last 8. Brooklyn's also covering 71% of their games, taking on teams between 450 and 550. Brooklyn ranks 5th in the NBA in home offensive rebounding. They're led by D'Angelo Russell, who's scoring 21 points per contest on average. Now, Charlotte, on their side of things, they rank 26th out of 30 teams in road defensive rebounding. They've also failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9 games. Now, scoring-wise, the Charlotte offense is scoring just 108 points per contest on the road. So I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the home favorite in this one. Give me Brooklyn minus 3 after buying the half a point and the under 228 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, as always, I'm just going to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leads out for Friday's NBA, college basketball, and NHL action. You know, when I skip NHL, these guys get very upset on YouTube, so I cannot skip NHL. But anyway, just want to quickly remind you guys to check me out on my website. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. There's plenty of free content there as well. We do a daily poll where you can pick a winner. You don't win anything, but it's just fun to see what everybody's picking and who people are leaning toward. But we're doing very, very well in the NBA in the past couple of weeks, and you can check out my record in the NBA on patreon.com/BrockPage. There's also access to daily picks as well. Memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. And like I said, plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now, open up your browser, and type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now with the laundry going in the background, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. Hey, I'm incredibly human, guys. What can I say? Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to some more action. Once again, all starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Chicago Bulls at the Atlanta Hawks, 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Atlanta. The Hawks opened as the three-point favorites. Total opened at 231, and since that one opened up, we're seeing movement toward the under. We're also seeing a slight fade of Atlanta when it comes to the spread. Right now, the Hawks are minus 2.5. Total move down to 230 and a hook. So once again, Atlanta open minus 3, down to minus 2.5. Total open 231, down to 230 and a hook. 51% are leaning Chicago. 82% is shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Bulls are plus $1.25 on the money line. Now, if you like the Bulls on the road here, they've been doing okay as of late. Not too bad, putting a string of wins together. But they are taking on an Atlanta team who's 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 straight. 5-1 ATS in their last 6. They're led by John Collins, who's dropping 20 points per contest on average. He's also grabbing 10 rebounds a game as well. Atlanta's also led by Dwayne Dedmon, who's bringing down 7.2 rebounds a game as well. Now, Chicago ranks 28th out of 30 teams in points scored. They're averaging just 103 points per contest. They also rank 26th in the association in offensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, Chicago's 2-0 to the under in their last 2. Atlanta 4-2 to the under in their last 6. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Atlanta -2 and the under 230.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Blazers. Raptors, 8 o'clock tip-off in Toronto. Toronto opened -5, total open 228. Not a whole lot of movement when it comes to the spread. Pretty good two-way action there, although we did see movement toward the under on the total. That moved down to 227. So once again, Toronto open and remains -5, total open 228, down to 227. 55% are leaning Portland, 85% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Portland is plus 170 for some money line cash. Now, Evan Turner is questionable with a knee injury for Portland, so we'll have to kind of weigh it out closer to game time to see what the status is on him. And his counter ruled out for Portland for Friday night's game as well. Now, if you like the Blazers in this spot, they've covered just 8 out of 20 games as the official road underdog. They're also 11-14 straight up as the official Vegas underdog as well. Toronto, on their side of things, they've been pretty hot as of late. Winners in 8 out of their last 9 straight up. They also rank 6th in scoring at 114 points per contest in that category there. They're led by Kawhi Leonard, who's dropping 27 points per contest and 8 boards a game on average. Serge Ibaka is also bringing down 8 rebounds a game on average as well for the Raptors. And when it comes to scoring, Portland is just 36% to the over in their games at the current posted total. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean very chalky with this one. Give me Toronto -5 and the under 227 in that matchup there. How did the kid get to bed so early? Melatonin, huh? I got to take some of that stuff. No, can't do that when I'm uploading videos at 4 a.m. Anyway, next game, Wizards at the Celtics, 8 o'clock tip-off in Boston. The Celtics open 9.5, total open 232. We're seeing a slight fade of Boston when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total. That number moved down to 231.5. The spread moved down to -9. So once again, Boston open 9.5, down to -9. Total open 232, down to 231.5. 51% of the consensus is leaning toward Boston, 60% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Wizards are plus 335 for some money line cash. And hopefully you are not yawning while watching this. A big yawn in the background. That was hilarious. About 10 seconds ago. Oh. It was funny. Sorry. I had to hold it together. Boston, 23-9 straight up on their home court at the TD Garden. They're also covering 63% of their games as the official home favorite. Boston ranks 2nd in defensive field goal percentage. Their opponents are shooting just 44% from the field. They're led by Kyrie Irving, who is scoring 24 points per game on average. Now, Washington, on the other side, just covering 7 out of 23 games as the official road underdog. They rank dead last in the NBA in road points allowed. They're giving up 120 points per game on average when traveling. That's unbelievable. Total-wise, Boston 3-1 to the under in their last 4. Give me the Celtics -9 and the under 231.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Pelicans Suns, 9 o'clock tip-off in Phoenix. The Pels open -4, total open 238. Not a whole lot of movement in this one. We're seeing a half a point move downward on the total. So once again, Pelicans open -4, total open 238 down to 237.5. Darius Miller is questionable with an ankle for the Pelicans. Meanwhile, Devin Booker is questionable with a toe injury, bad toe on Booker for Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is just 1-17 straight up in their last 18 games. They rank dead last in offensive rebounding. Meanwhile, on the New Orleans side of things, they're 4-1 against the number in their last 5. Their offense is scoring 116 points per contest. That's going to put them at 4th in the NBA in that category there. Now, they're led by Anthony Davis, who's scoring 28 points per contest. He's also averaging 13 rebounds a game, which is just fantastic. Drew Holiday is also dropping 21 points per contest on average as well for the Pelicans. And when it comes to scoring, Phoenix is just 12-17 to the over at home. Their offense is putting up just 105 points per contest at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Pelicans -4 and another under, the under 237.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Clippers, Kings, 10 o'clock tip-off in Sacramento. Sacramento opened 3, total 241.5. And since that one opened up, we're seeing a slight fade of Sacramento. When it comes to the spread, we're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Total moved down to 240. Spread moved down to 2.5. So once again, the Kings open -3, down to -2.5. Total open 241.5, down to 240 even. Marvin Bagley is ruled out. Actually, he's been out indefinitely and still is out indefinitely. Won't see him Friday night. Meanwhile, the Clippers, Wilson Chandler's still out for them as well. Clippers are covering just 41% of their games that tipped off at the current number. They also rank 24th in points allowed at 114 per game on average. The Sacramento offense, on the other side, is scoring 115 points per contest on their home court. They're 6-1 ATS in their last 7, 8-2 against the number in their last 10. They are led by Buddy Hield, who's scoring 21 points per contest. They're also led by Cauley Stein, who's getting 8.4 rebounds a game on average. Now, total-wise, the Clippers are just 41% to the over on the road, 33% to the over at the current total. Give me Sacramento -2 after buying the hook, and the under 240 in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate, it is going to be Bucks-Lakers, 10:30 tip-off at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Bucks are -4, total open 237, down to 236.5. 62% are leaning Lakers, 57% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Lakers are +155 for some money line cash. Now, Hill is questionable for Milwaukee. Meanwhile, on the Lakers side of things, Lance Stevenson is questionable for them as well. Now, the Lakers have failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 games. They rank second to last in home defensive rebounding, 29th out of 30 teams in home defensive rebounding. Now, Milwaukee, on their side of things, they rank first in offensive rebound. They're number 1. They rank first in offensive rebounding in the NBA. They're 18-2 straight up in their last 20, and obviously they are being led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, who's dropping 27 points per contest. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's the Greek Freak, the original. He's dropping 27 points per contest. Chris Middleton's averaging 17.4 points per game as well. And when it comes to the total, Milwaukee's just 41% to the over when traveling. Lakers just 8-22 to the over on their home court. Give me Milwaukee -4 and the under 236.5 in that matchup there. All right, short slate of college basketball games, but we have a couple to take a look at.